Good evening, everyone. We'll be starting with the seminar shortly. All right. A very good evening, to one and all present here. We are the board of directors and the core team at the Rotaract Club of Medicro, and we'll be starting our seminar that is the MBBS Life, a roadmap to becoming great doctors. Today, you'll be learning everything you need to know before joining medical school, that is your MBBS. Even some stuff for the upcoming dental students or physiotherapists. You'll be learning a lot today. I think we can start with the journey now. Right. So first of all, a very warm welcome to one and all to MBBS or any other course that you have taken up. So today, the topics that we'll be covering are exams and CBME curriculum, the subjects and books to be used, the fests and trips that you'll be a part of in your undergraduate life, approaching competitive exams like USMLE, PLAB, NEXT, etc. And at the end, we'll be having a quick Q&A session, and we'll be solving all your queries and doubts related to MBBS, Rotaract Club of Medicro, and everything else. So what exactly is the Rotaract Club of Medicro? The Rotaract Club of Medicro is a charter non-profit organization with the motto of leading with healthcare through adversity to the stars. We are a club based entirely of medical and paramedical students all over India. Currently, the world's largest club, as you can see in the next slide. So currently, we are world's top community-based Rotaract club. So these stats were actually snapped back around 6 months ago when we had around 2,100 members, and we were still the number one Rotaract club in the world. Currently, we stand strong with more than 3,000 members, not just in India, but more than 5 other countries all across the world. And we wish to spread a lot more. So currently, we are the world's number one community-based Rotaract club. So, before going ahead,
I'm Rotaract Krishna.
Right. So before going ahead, we have a couple of testimonials from our members and our well-wishers. Thank you so much. Rotaract Ojas, please go ahead.
Doing my final year MBBS from Chennai. I joined Rotaract in my second year, and it was the time I was doing nothing, not even my studies, because it was a COVID time. I was just simply sitting in my home, jobless. Then I thought of doing something interesting in my life. Then I heard about Rotaract. It was also combined with medicine, so it was so close to my heart then, even now. It showed me how we can enjoy in our students' life also. I had so many opportunities, and I developed leadership skills here. I was the institutional ambassador in my first year. Then I became regional head of Chennai. Then I am the HRD director now. It improves our leadership skills one way, and it also help us in improve our academic the other way. Also, we will also enjoy our life by fun activities like trekking and community service. So it's a combination of everything, studies and opportunities. Thank you. Join Rotaract. We will meet you there.
Well, that was Rotaractor Vamshi Krishna from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. We have another testimonial from Rotaractor Ignatius Roshan from another part of India.
This is Rotaractor Ignatius Roshan, currently doing my second year. And I've been traveling with Rotaract for more than a year now, and this is my second year in Rotaract. Trust me, from school to college is a big transition. And when I stepped into medical college, it was totally different. The lectures, the way of teaching, and everything was totally different. And I struggled in initial days to adapt to it. And during those days, I used to mug up things, just like chunks of information, just putting into head and just replicating it out during exams. That's it. But then, when I joined Rotaract through my friends, when I came to know about Rotaract through my friends, and when I joined it, they released an amazing web series called the Physiology web series, wherein my perspective towards learning totally changed from mugging up things to understanding the concepts and applying the same on a clinical level. So that's why I recommend you to join Rotaract today. And moreover, Rotaract also has amazing opportunities. Trust me, it's an ocean of opportunities, wherein you have opportunities to play, to sports avenue, and ethics avenue, wherein you can develop your research skills and in fact do your research as well, right? So benefits are amazing, and trust me, you'll be satisfied. Yep, that's for Rotaract from signing off. Hi, hello.
Well, that's it for our member testimonials. We'll be beginning with our seminar now. Over to you, Rotaractor Ojas Kamath.
Thank you so much, Meg sir. So I'll be taking over from now. So as the disclaimer says, right, the current MBBS course is not the same as the one your seniors may have had. So what your seniors had is what we call as the old curriculum. So, there was a famous medical professor, William Osler, who said that students, if you want to learn medicine, you should go to the hospital wards, spend more time with patients. Books are not enough to learn medicine. So this is what CBME, competency-based medical education, is based on. It is it focuses more on the practical knowledge than just, mugging up and writing something in your exams. So yeah, we'll proceed. So before I tell you what CBME is, this is the flow of your exams in your first year. So of course, we have the first terminal, then we have the second terminal, and we have the prelim exams. So prelim exams would usually be, they would be full portion. So they would just be mimicking your university finals. So you can be totally prepared for your university exams, So it's just a practice for university exams. So yeah, CBME is competency-based medical education. So it basically means that, let's say you are preparing for NEET, right? So while you are preparing for NEET, let's say you had what, circulatory system. Under that, you had various subtopics. Now CBME is not focused on those subtopics. It is not that generalized. It is rather focused on a specific competency. Like, let's say your topic in physiology, you would have, let's say, gastrointestinal tract. So in that, you would not have a specific subtopic as such. You would have a competency. Let's say describe the movements of the gastrointestinal tract, describe secretions of various cells. So you may have some specific competencies rather than some generalized subtopics. And CBME is more practical based than just mugging up and writing it in your exams. That I'll show you how. So these are the various parts of CBME. So as the first point, we have more clinical scenarios. So it's not just question and answer, like you read something in your book and you have to write it. Here you would have to apply your brain actually. So according to what theory you read, let's say, parotid gland, it's a salivary gland. So let's say you basically in the old curriculum, you would have questions like, oh, describe the parotid gland, or, just a long answer on parotid gland. And you would just write, generalized stuff. But in clinical, you would have practical knowledge. Let's say what's, the surgery of parotid gland is called, what are the complications in it, and etc., etc. So, you would have more practical knowledge when you, go forth in your second year, on your postings, etc. So you would know what's happening. You would have more practical knowledge. And then we have, as the second one, we have early clinical exposure. So in early clinical exposure, it is meant to make you more accustomed to the medical life and what goes on, being more accustomed to the environment. So in ECE, basically what you have is, visit to operation theaters, wards, blood banks, etc. So that gives you a more understanding of what exactly goes on, and it increases your practical knowledge. So henceforth, when you actually treat patients, you already have some exposure and you know what's going on. So vertical integration with clinical subjects, as I told you, you just don't have, theory and, answers. You have clinical, like various diseases. You're already taught about it right from your first year. So you have practical knowledge in treating patients and, looking after them. More post-ending exams is you would have these postings in second year, right? Where you interact with patients, you meet patients. Post-ending exams is, you would have exams at the end of these postings, based on these postings. So post-ending exams, logbook for reflection and skill assessment. So basically, you would have to maintain a logbook, which you wouldn't before, in the old curriculum. So logbooks, you have to write how you felt about your experience, in early clinical exposure. What did you learn? What do you plan on learning next? What did you find interesting, etc., etc. So you just have to reflect that. You have to maintain a logbook for that. And foundation course, as you were from the very first in most colleges, right? When you go, you will be starting with the foundation course, which would make you more accustomed about, medicine, medical life, and topics like what is expected of you as a student, as a doctor, what is expected of the patients, your moral, ethical duties as a doctor, etc. So moving on. Now, these are just, the various methods by which you would be taught the competencies. And as you can see, lecture, we all know what lectures are: small group discussions, DOAPs, etc., etc. Skill assessment, you'll be assessed on, practical skills, laboratory skills, skill station, etc. Core competencies are these are important competencies. These will definitely come in your examinations, or you will definitely be tested on these. Non-core is something like you may learn that, but you may or may not be tested on these. And shorter course but the same work. So I'll show you how it's a shorter course. So as you can see here, we have compared, the old curriculum and the CVME. So in the old curriculum, you can see, of course, the first year has been, longer, and the second year has been shortened, etc., etc. So in these, so it is made shorter. So basically we have this conception, right? That, medicine is and it is true actually, medicine is a long course, right? When you tell someone you're doing medicine, they instantly respect you. They're, oh, like, you're studying for such a long time, even to get into medicine, you have to work so hard. So of course, this is a bit better, it's shorter, but 2 months, even though 2 months. So yeah, this is the difference between CBME and the old curriculum we had. Moving on. Of course, so this is my personal experience. So why do I say study anatomy first? Anatomy is very vast, right? So anatomy, it's scoring for some people, it's according to how your memory works. So anatomy is very scoring. It's very interesting, but it's super vast. So of course you have to study anatomy first. If you put anatomy first, and everything's correlated: anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. If you put anatomy first, of course you will understand the latter two better. And yeah, anatomy, you have to like really put in the time if you want to, score and learn, if you're physiology is, of course, physiology is also very interesting, but of course it's less scoring because, the content is vast. At the same time, there's a lot of understanding to do. But, given the right books, the right way to learn, you can, of course, score in that too. That's not an issue. Do the core topic first means, do the important topics first, so you can score well in your exams, etc. Do the clinical scenario based questions before. So as I said, a chunk of your paper would just be based on clinical questions, right? So what happens if this happens? And, practical questions, clinical questions. So of course you have to do them before you go into any examination. Of course, because if you want to do well. Practice BAQs and MCQs. So MCQs are there for, 20 marks, I mean, in the university, and BAQs. And so, yeah, these are scoring. These are very scoring, and, they take up a short period of your time. But yeah, if you practice those, of course, you can score more better. And yeah. So these are the subjects in your first term, second term. So you also have PSM, right? They have introduced PSM for the first year, but it won't come in your university. Doesn't mean it's not important, but yeah, you have PSM. You may have PSM examinations in your, in your second term and, your non-university exams. So as you can see, you have one ANAT paper, physiology, biochem, theory. And after that, you will have practical for these subjects. In the second term, again, you have the same thing. Now in the prelims, right? So in the prelims, in most colleges, you would have almost the full portion, right? So we have two papers, two theory papers, the full portion, but it's divided into two papers. So you'll have two papers for ANAT, physiology, biochem, theory. And of course, you'll have a practical for, anatomy, physiology. Practical would be one, but the theory would be divided into two papers, right? And of course, it's mimicking the finals. So in MUHS, the final university exam, which if you pass, you'll go into the next year. Of course, you'll have two papers like it is shown here. And yeah, moving on. Paper pattern, as I told you. So here we have the MCQ, BAQs, which are brief answer questions, and 20 MCQs. So the thing in MCQs and BAQs is, right, you should know the whole topic for the MCQs in order to score well. But of course, if you do the important question, you may know only the important questions. You may not be able to answer all the MCQs. So we have, of course, 20 marks MCQs, 20 marks BAQs, brief answer questions, and 40 marks SAQs, 8 SAQs, 5 marks each, short answer questions, and 20 marks LAQs. You have 2 LAQs. So you would have options. In BAQ, you would have 11 questions. Out of that, you would have to attempt 10. SAQs, you would have 10 questions, out of which you would have to attend do A. And LAQs, you would have 3 LAQs, out of which you have to do 2 of them. And yeah, clinical scenario based questions may be asked in these. Yeah, so each paper would be 100 marks and plus the practicals. Okay, so I would like to thank you guys for listening to me, and I would like to transfer now to Make Sir. Thank you so much, guys. All the best.
Thank you, Retractor Ojas. Well, that was our brilliant Retractor Ojas Kamath, our Public Relations and Marketing Director. Well, speaking to you now, I'm Rotaract Meg Nagwekar, the president of the Rotaract Club of Medicro. I'll be speaking to you about the subjects and the books to be used and how exactly we will be helping you in understanding these subjects and grasping these concepts. Well, the subjects you'll be facing in first year are primarily 3 subjects: anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. Well, what is anatomy? Anatomy is an understanding of the position and the structure of different organ systems in the body. Physiology is the understanding of the normal functioning and the processes of the body. And well, biochemistry is an understanding of the body at a more molecular level. So before we start with the subjects, we have something for you. We do something called as subject webinar series. We have 3 webinar series, each for anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry, especially for first year. Of course, as you move on to your higher years, we'll be having other webinar series such as medicine, surgery, etc. This is one of our member plugs this is Rotaract Survi Upadhyay, who will be talking to you about her experience with these webinar series.
Survi Upadhyay, and like most of y'all, I was very overwhelmed with embarking this new journey, and one of my greatest apprehensions was about on how to approach these subjects properly so that I could master them. Well, that's where Medicro came to my rescue. The webinars that were organized for anatomy and physiology really helped me, helped me in building my concepts and taught me on how to tackle these subjects properly. Plus, one thing which really helped me before my university exams were these quizzes that were organized by a PD department for anatomy. They helped me a lot with my last minute revision for anatomy, and really served as a great means to boost my prep. So yeah, all thanks to, and one big win that I count on my end is also meeting like-minded people here. I met a lot of people with whom I used to discuss my doubts and everything. So yeah.
Well, on that note, let's begin with anatomy. So what are the books to be used in anatomy? Well, anatomy is briefly divided into gross and general anatomy, embryology, histology, and genetics. Now, gross anatomy is basically a study of the placement and the functions of your various muscles or your organ systems and other things. General anatomy is a study of all your bones, all your microcellular structures. Embryology is the study of formation of an entire human being from a simple zygote. Histology is the study of these organ systems and multiple organs at a molecular and a cellular level. And genetics, as we all know, is a study of the hereditary structures or hereditary characteristics of human life. So what are the books that can be used in anatomy? So well, for gross and general anatomy, there are 2 sets of books. You have BD Chaurasia or Vishram Singh. Some colleges prefer using BD Chaurasia, some colleges prefer using Vishram Singh. From my personal experience, I would say Vishram Singh has simpler diagrams, but explanation is more or less the same in both. So it really depends on your own preference here. For embryology and histology, it is Inderbir Singh or IB Singh all through the way. For genetics, you have Gangane's notes. Well, of course, we also have our own edition of genetics notes, which we'll be sharing with you as and when you join our organization. Well, not just this, for especially the CBME curriculum, we have two specially curated books for you, which are MCQs in anatomy and SAQs in anatomy. These are made by Dr. VG Sawant. And these, well, I can't tell you, there are questions picked up directly from these books without even changing, any word, any punctuations also. Right? It is as simple as this. It is a very, and as Dr. O just mentioned about the BAQs, the brief answer questions. Well, you will not find BAQs separately given anywhere except in the book. I know it's called SAQs in anatomy, but you will find these short answer questions called BAQs. And whether you trust me or not, you will have questions directly coming from this book. So I request you, really please do buy this book. It will really help you go a long way. Well, not just this, to prove my point, this is on the left side, you have a university question paper of anatomy paper 2. Reading question number 3, subsection D. A baby boy was delivered in a hospital using forceps. 2 weeks later, the parents took the child to the pediatrician as his right arm, note this, was medially rotated, adducted, while his forearm was extended and pronated. You have to name the position of the upper limb, clinical condition, cause of injury, and the muscles paralyzed. On your right hand, you will see a book which and you can see it is written, contributed by Dr. VG Sawant. If I may read the question, it says, in difficult labor, an obstetrician applied forceps to the head of the baby. The newborn baby's right arm was adducted, medially rotated, forearm was extended and pronated. Exact same words. What is this condition called? Which nerve roots are involved? What is the cause? And which muscles are paralyzed? These are direct questions from a book which I'll be sharing with you shortly, which I like to call the gold mine. And as I said, if you buy these books, you will be through. Okay. Our gold mine for anatomy is Snell's Anatomy by Dr. Of course, it's written by Dr. Vandana Mehta. But I would really like to put emphasis on this one chapter of clinical scenarios, which you just saw earlier, which was written by Dr. VG Sawant. I don't know how else to tell you, but it is you saw a direct question coming right from that book. Okay, so of course, do buy that book, do study it. You will be through, right? Not just this, we have our own webinar series, which you just saw the testimonials earlier. So you have Anatomy Simplified. We conducted this when your immediate senior batch joined. So this is just a snapshot of one of the episodes that we did. It was conducted by Dr. Vijay Vora. We conducted a webinar on the brachial plexus. You'll be learning about it shortly when you join medical school. And not just this, we also do multiple webinar series for all the subjects. Moving on to physiology. Now, what are the books to be used in physiology? Of course, you have your Bible of physiology known as Guyton. And you have this book called VD Joshi, which is basically Guyton in a question answer format, right? So, of course, every college, every medical college, every teacher that you go to will focus on the fact that you need to study Guyton. But there are some people who really like to read, who are avid readers, and they will thoroughly enjoy reading Guyton. But there are other people who are not very, well versed with reading, or they like to keep it short and to the point. Well, for them, we would recommend the books known as A.K. Jain and G.K. Pal. Of course, these are written by the authors, and that's how you'll start knowing these textbooks in medical school. But A.K. Jain, G.K. Pal, and Sembulingam is actually a book which will help you get through exams at the last minute. If one night before you've not studied anything, Sembulingam will not help you get distinctions, but it will surely get you through the exam. But I would definitely recommend Guyton, A.K. Jain, and G.K. Pal. Now, of course, we also have our webinar series for physiology, which is called Physiology Simplified by Dr. Ashwini Taide. We conducted another snapshot of the cardiac cycle webinar, which was conducted earlier this year in the month of May. Moving on to biochemistry, which are the books that can be used in biochemistry? Well, you have every teacher has varied opinions when it comes to biochemistry. You have the top books, which are called as Vasudevan and Satyanarayan. Well, if you go to any faculty, any department, they will tell you to read these two books thoroughly. But of course, with change, you have to adapt to new things. And that's where this book called Pankaja Naik comes in, which gives you a lot of clinical scenarios. I would not say that it's better than the other two books, but it will surely get you, well versed with the subject. Of course, Vasudevan and Satyanarayan still remain as the best books. Well, there is another book called Prasad RM, that's the author's name, and it is basically biochemistry in a question answer format. So, well, if you're someone who likes to read a subject in a question answer format rather than the entire processes, I would strongly suggest that you buy Dr. Prasad RM's book and go through it. And well, as discussed, we also have our biochemistry webinar series called Biochemistry Simplified by Dr. Pradeep Nair. This was a snapshot of the protein metabolism webinar that we conducted earlier this year in the month of June. Now, speaking to you about these webinar series, so you'll come across when you join medical school, you'll come across a lot of online coaching classes or online lecture series, which will cost you roughly about 50,000 or 40,000 rupees per year. You'll have when you go ahead, you'll have the medicine series, which will cost you more than that probably. So, is it really worth it? Well, it depends from person to person. If you think it's really worth it, you should go for it. But I would like to tell you the cost of our webinar series. It is now as stated earlier, we are a non-profit organization, which means we stand to gain no profit, and we intend to make no loss, of course, with our membership fees, and everything that we do for you is done by the students, that is us, for the students, that is you. And our membership costs exactly rupees 299. This is an early bird offer until tomorrow afternoon. Of course, this 299 gives you an exposure to all the extracurricular activities that we do, to all the webinar series, which are absolutely free of cost, right? And this will help you, to solve your doubts, get well versed with your concepts, and get a better grasp on your subjects. Of course, there is no compromise on the quality. If you're thinking, why are we charging so less? As I said, we are a non-profit organization. We stand to gain no profit from your money. What we intend to do is provide as much development as possible for the medical fraternity, as we are from it ourselves. And like I said, it is 299 for everything. You'll be getting curated access to our webinar series for anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. And of course, it is absolutely free of cost for you once you join in. But that's not it. We'll be talking about a lot more. So over to you, Dr. Kunal. Thank you so much.
So, hello guys, I'm Rotaract Kunal Shah, Vice President for the Rotaract Club of Medicro. So, we heard a lot about exams and a lot about books. So, is MBBS only about books and studies? Well, no. So, every college has its own fest, and it's a sports fest or an academic fest or a cultural fest. As you can see, Asia's largest fest is the Pulse Fest at AIIMS Delhi. So, next slide. So these are a few snaps of different types of events. One is a flash mob. The other one is an academic event where the doctors are dressed in the white coat. Then a sports tournament in the stadium and a pro show. So there are concerts and DJ nights in colleges. Next. So in fact, these are a few photos from my own trip. I went for the AIIMS Delhi trip to Shimla, Manali, a few months ago, during a Pulse Fest. So these are my own photos. You all can see. Next slide. So yeah, here are a few more photos from our very own organization, apart from the webinar series which we're going to offer, and apart from all the events. We also do have fun because we're like a family, right? So there's paintball. In fact, there was a very interesting event at AIIMS Delhi, which was in collaboration with Johns Hopkins University. So the faculty from the United States had come down to New Delhi, and there was an offline workshop. You can also see various, treks, paintball, and just Sunday lunches, etc. Go ahead, next slide. So again, yes, we can see a trek over here. Again, the Johns Hopkins event, and that's myself standing on the roads of Shimla. Next slide. So the Medicro merch, our organization had launched 7 of its own designs. So there is unition and unity among our members. So what do you actually wear to college? It can be formal clothes, can be informal clothes, but you're definitely going to have these t-shirts. All your seniors will be owning these, and you should get them too. Next slide. Yeah, so with this, I pass it on to the next person about the USMLE and PLAB approach for future examinations.
Hi everyone, I'm Priyal Gangwar, the PR and Marketing Director at Rotaract Medicro. I welcome you all to the course that you wanted to get in, MBBS. I know you've just come out of a very tough competitive exam, that is NEET, and I congratulate you all for getting into MBBS. You're going to have a lot of fun, certainly. So I am just here to answer the question, which is what next? And I'm here to give you a general overview of all the exams you might need to take in the course journey, right? So for India, the NEET for PG entrance has been replaced by NEXT, right? It is a 2-step exam. There will be 2 exams in it, and it will be needed to get a PG seat as well as to get your registration as a doctor to practice. PLAB is the exam to get into the UK medical system. It is again a 2-step exam, which will again include theoretical clinical knowledge and as well as your skills, your clinical skills. USMLE is a 3-step exam. It is a little exhaustive as compared to the other 2 exams. And again, it requires you to have a very thorough understanding of the subjects as well as your clinical knowledge, right? So every competitive exam has 3 integral aspects: the academics, obviously, extracurriculars, and research. The latter 2 are absolutely important for USMLE and PLAB. You won't need it that much for next, because for mostly the Indian exams, it's usually your score, which is seen to get you into a PG program, right? Please, can we move to the next slide? Okay, so first of all, we talk about the academics. Earlier, the exams used to be a little fact-based. See, like what is the position of this particular structure, or what is the name of the certain pathogen that causes a disease. Now it's mostly clinical based. Even next, that will be coming up in arts Indian system. So you have to have a very thorough knowledge of all the subjects. Apart from that, you have to have the clinical correlation of every disease, every organ that you read. And if you do that, if you start from the first year, as is being suggested by the new curriculum as well, you will be gaining a lot, right? And then the theory is just not important. You will be going to the clinics and all to, apply your clinical skills and see if your clinical knowledge is up to the mark. And only then you can ace these exams, because MLE and PLAB is one of the most exhaustive, difficult exams when it comes to clinical knowledges. They will check your clinical knowledge thoroughly, right? Next, please. And also, as per how we come into play, Rotaract Medicro has previously, you can see it on our Instagram page, we've done a lot of seminars to give you a thorough understanding into how each exam plays out. And we've invited some of our seniors, who've given these exams, who've been through the system, and we've talked to them, we've asked questions to, help you understand how do you go about these exams, USMLE 1, what resources to use, and etc. And we do that almost every year. Please do join in when we conduct the next session. Apart from that, for USMLE and PLAB, you have to have a very good CV. They will not just test you on your clinical theoretical knowledge that you know a subject. They will see you completely as a person, whether you're interested in medicine or not. And for that, you need to show that in your CV. And how can you do that? Well, we are here to help you. So we have this avenue which is called the international services, and we do conduct a lot of exchange programs that are online, and we connect different Rotaractors from different countries, right? Like we've done this exchange. Can we go back to the previous slide? Yeah. So we've done exchange programs with Brazil, UK. We've done with Panama. The next slide, please. Yeah, sorry. So we've done it with Brazil. We've done it with UK. We've done it with Panama. We've done it with Egypt. And you meet so many new people. You learn a lot about their culture. You see how their medical system works, and you can put it on your CV, which reflects really great when you do apply for a when you do apply for a PG program in the US or in UK. They see that you are really interested in medicine. The next slide, please. Yeah. So Medicro is also, we do a lot of extracurriculars. So during COVID, we set up a verified resource for people to help people, where the hospital beds are vacant, where they can get their vaccines and all. Next, please. Okay, so one of the most important aspect of your CV will be humanitarian work. The people, especially in US, they love to see these humanitarian, that you've done some humanitarian work, that you've given back to the society. Because at the end of the day, being a doctor is being that, helping people out, and you do feel great about it when you're spreading awareness about it. So we've conducted a lot of health camps, screening camps, spreading awareness about malnutrition in kids in Govandi, in Mumbai. We've done general health checkups in places where people are likely to be affected. Right, we've done it in association with a lot of NGOs that were interested in collaborating with us. Next slide, please. Next slide. You can see we've distributed ORS. That was a pan-India program, and in a lot of our health camps, we've been graced by the presence of very eminent ministers like Aditya Thackeray sir, Prasad Lad sir, Supriya Sule ma'am, and it has been one of the greatest things we do here at Medicro. And this will reflect really great on your CV, believe me. So we keep doing health camps. It keeps coming up every month because we do get a lot of NGOs to work with. Again, we did a cleanup drive at Juhu Beach, and we did a menstruation camp, etc., etc. Next, please. Next slide. We also did an LGBT conclave to spread awareness about the inclusivity. That is, you must have read the medical council has tried to include pronouns in the new curriculum, right? We did a doctor space. We did an industrial visit to give people exposure to the industrial areas. And next, please. And we do donate a lot of stuff. We did a handout of ORS pan India. It was a pan India program to help people spread awareness about dehydration and stuff. We talk about mental health. We talk about a lot of stuff that affects the general society, us as students, what you study, what the health camps to actually give back to the society. Next. We did a virtual case simulation, right? So you could see how do you apply your clinical knowledge and everything, and whether you are up to the mark in your studies. And we keep doing stuff like this. So please do check out our page, to check out our organization. Next. Okay, so apart from that, if we have this avenue called the club service, which keeps organizing these really fun events, which is going on treks in association with a lot of trekking groups in and around Maharashtra. We recently went to a trampoline park. We went to a hike to a waterfall. We went to a shooting range. Next. So our club offers that as well. We went to the caves. We went cycling. And we keep meeting up, and it is a great way to socialize and network and meet people from the same community, that is your medical community, and it will always help you to have more contacts, to have more friends in and around medical colleges. It will always help you. So please do join us next time when we are doing something fun like this. Next. Okay, so now I've completed the academic part of it. I've completed the extracurricular part of it, and now the one of the most important parts of your CV, research, will be taken up by Simran. Handing it over to you. Thank you so much for listening.
Hello everyone, I'm Simran Spal, and I'm the National Director for Research and Innovation under RC Medicro. So today I'll be talking about one of the most intriguing topics in medical curriculum, research. Next slide. So lots of people have different reasons for doing research. Some of them do it because they genuinely want to do it. Their inner scientist appeals to them. They want to be physician scientists maybe. Some of them want to do because they want to improve their CV and for their competitive exams like USMLE or UKMLA, which was known as PLAB. And some of them want to show that they're intelligent or smart, or some of them just because of peer pressure, just because their friends are doing or their colleagues are doing. And for some, it's the reason to appeal to their teachers and get some more marks. For some, it is to sneak into the conference to present their papers. And I assure you, please, next slide. As I was saying, I assure you, whatever your reason is to do research, it is definitely worth it. Next slide. So how to do research? What are all the opportunities? There are lots of national and international opportunities which are available, like ICMR, STS, and universities around the world offer unique research courses, but there are lots of questions to it. Next. The questions are like they don't know where to start. They don't know how to apply. They don't know because most of the research applications, they require previous experience, and some think that they're not qualified enough. They think that they do not have sufficient experience or sufficient knowledge. And also these courses, they cost a lot of money. So where to start? Next slide. Next. So the answer is, we offer all these research courses, webinars, and publication opportunities, and part to be research magazine, and even be a part of health camps and research studies, all under RC Medicro. So these are just some of the projects which we are ongoing this year. The protocol to publication, it is a step-by-step systematic guide on how to publish and research. So I'll tell you just the basics about it. Just in the episode 1, we introduced what actually research is. So how to conduct it, how to do the math. That's where the math comes in back into your lives. You have to do the stats for the research, and then you publish your findings. So it will be a whole protocol on how to do it. And Project Kashir, it's our ongoing project. It was conducted last year too. It was a huge success. So in this, we conducted a health camp, and then we made out a research study out of it. It was regarding the distribution of milk packets. And then we also have Inspire. This is the magazine where you can submit your research articles, or even your articles on medicine or any other topic which you find intriguing. Also your artwork on medicine, just like last year we had an breast cancer awareness theme. And the project Arena, it's a small working group where we provide you opportunities to work on a research project under the guidance of one of the board of directors. This will give you an publication in the end. And next generation sequencing is one of our webinars which we conducted. And that right there is one of the calls for articles where you can submit yours. So these are all the opportunities we provide you. Over to you, Devang. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rotaract Devang Chabra, and I'm the chairperson for HRD at the Rotaract Club of Medicro. How can you be a part of our endeavors and shape your dreams into reality? I'll tell you what, the journey of MBBS is a very difficult journey, especially if you're planning to traverse it on your own. If you're going into this journey blindly, then let me tell you that it's going to be very difficult. But that's where the Rotaract Club of Medicro step in. We have taken this upon ourselves to help you guys from the get-go to be a part of your journey as well. Now, some of you whose parents are doctors or whose siblings are doctors, you know what to expect, at least to a certain degree. But for people who are going into this completely blindly, let me tell you that there's a lot of things that are going to come your way, and you're not going to be ready for it, right? So we've, like the people who have presented today, we've already gone through at least a couple of years of MBBS or BDS or any other degree for that matter, and we know what it takes. We know what challenges each and every one of you are going to be facing. So again, I thank you all for joining this meeting, and I welcome all of you all, because it gives me immense pleasure and immense joy to to be able to share my experience and my journey with all of you. So right, coming back to how you can be a part of our endeavors and shape your dreams into reality. We've only spoken in very brief when it comes to all the activities that we conduct at Medicro. We have 12 avenues in Medicro, spanning from professional development to club service, and so many more things in the middle as well. So it won't be possible for us to go over each and everything, but as and when you decide to join our organization, you'll come to know the kind of activities that we that happen at Medicro all year round. So all of these activities, all of these seminars, webinars, on-ground camps, everything will be available to you at a very minimal cost of $299. I repeat, that is the early bird offer that we are offering for tonight, and it will be valid up till tomorrow noon. That is 12 noon, and following that, our price will bump up to around $399. But it's very important to understand, I feel, that at a minimal cost of $299, you will be getting access to the best of minds who have gone through this journey, or at least a couple of years into this journey, because the experiences that we have garnered over the past couple of years or 3 years, those experiences are priceless, let me tell you. And we already have such a strong community of like-minded people who are spread across the nation, who are ready to help each other, no matter what day it is, no matter what time it is, just to be able to have an access to such a large community of like-minded people. I think that in itself is so priceless. So next slide, please. Right. Before getting into what zonal regional representatives are, I would like to give you a small background as to how the HRD team works at the Rotaract Club of Medicro. So as part of the HRD team, there are 2 chairpersons. I'm one of them. And under us, we have 4 board of directors who are the HRD directors. So one HRD director responsible for each zone of the country. What I mean by zone is we've divided the country into 4 zones: the East Zone, the West Zone, the North Zone, and the South Zone, right? Under each HRD director, we have basically taken the states and we have identified where the maximum amount of medical colleges are. And based on that, we have divided the states into particular regions. Now we have a regional head in place for each of these following regions. And under those regions, we obviously have the respective medical colleges, and we have also established at least one institutional ambassador in each medical college, so that we know what all is happening in each medical college. So we've kept track of what is going on, what are the activities going on in each and every medical college across the nation, right? And we only hope to get more colleges involved and get more institutional ambassadors into place. This was the hierarchy that we've been following up till now. But I'm very glad to announce that this is the very first time that we have actually introduced a position, which you can see on your screen, which is called the Zonal Regional Representatives. This is the first time we are actually giving access to members right from their first year. So if you decide to join us today, you will also be able to apply for this position. This is something that we've never done before. Before this, we've obviously had people join us, spend a few months with us, and then maybe take up some position or the other in the club. But this is the first time that we are actually giving you all access to this position. So now let me explain to you how this or why we introduced this position. So what the zonal regional representative means is that, let's take an example. Let's say you're a student studying in Pune currently. What that would mean is, and should you apply for this position, that would mean that you would be applying for the region of Pune, and Pune, as it's understandable, comes under the west zone of the country, right? So our idea or our concept of gaining members and getting the message out there is twofold. Number one, we utilize the regional heads and the institutional ambassadors, who basically work day in and day out to conduct massive amounts of inductions. So you will see our institutional ambassadors conducting inductions all year round, so that more and more people get to know about this organization, so that they can also join us. And the second option that we have is through the zonal regional representatives, who will be spreading our message, who will be showcasing the kind of work that we do at Medicro by conducting events. So that's our strategy. We work on both fronts. That is, we conduct inductions as well as we conduct events, so that we are continuously doing something or the other that caters to each and every one of you. Right. So we are very proud to announce that this position will be open to all, whoever decides to join us, and more on this later. Next slide, please. Right. So this is the QR code that should you want to join our organization right now, we would love to have all of you all join, because trust me, after joining Medicro, you're going to realize that there is so much more to MBBS than just the academics. In fact, we make learning for MBBS so much more fun, and you're going to have such a large community of students who are already a part of this journey at your disposal, and it's just going to be a very, very, very enriching and a very, very nice experience. So as I said, the early bird offer for joining Medicro is $299, and it's valid until tomorrow noon. So I think we would keep this slide up for another 30 or 40 seconds. And in case you guys wish to join us, which I strongly recommend you do, just please take out your phones and just scan this QR code, and you will be directed to a form, a Google form. You can fill that up, make the payment, and you'll be through. And as Rotaract Meg pointed out, we are also sending the link to the form on the WhatsApp groups. So in case you are having difficulty in scanning the code, you can just go to the group and you will find the link for joining our organization. Right, a few more seconds and then we will move ahead. Right. Meg, should we get along? All right. So just next slide, please. And this is the QR code for applying for the position of ZRR. Now, I was able to explain this position in very brief, and I know some of you might still have a lot of doubts lingering. Don't worry, we will be having a Q&A session at the end of this meeting. So you can get all of your doubts cleared. But I would still strongly recommend that you apply for this position, because as you will see, as you go ahead, as you come along with us on this journey, you will be able to apply for a lot of positions in all the other avenues that we have. And at that time, once you're applying for those positions, your interviews are going to be taken, your forms are going to be assessed. And at that time, if we come to realize that, okay, you had applied for the position of ZRR, in the first week itself, and you had the confidence to go into this blindly, that would speak volumes about the kind of person that you are and the kind of work that you're willing to do. So that is also going to help you a lot much ahead in your journey. So I would suggest that you also apply for this position and see if it works out for you. So I would have this QR code up for another 20-30 seconds, so that in case you guys wish to apply, you can. I think we'll also be sending a WhatsApp message for the same on the groups. Right, so you should be expecting 2 messages from us, one for the membership and one for the application for the ZRR position. Right, let's move on. Would you please? Right, so I think that's it from my end. Dr. Meg, over to you.
Right. Thank you for that brilliant insight, Devang. So I think that's pretty much it for the MBBS Live. Of course, in a couple of minutes, we'll be opening the forum for questions, and we'll be solving all your doubts and queries thoroughly. So I highly request, of course, if you've not joined the Zoom meeting yet, the link is on the WhatsApp groups and the Telegram group. Do join the Zoom meeting, or if not, then of course, you can put it in the YouTube chat box, and we'll be answering all your questions. This is just a small like a scribblio made by one of our members, showcasing multiple events that will be happening in your MBBS Life. So anyway, over to the next slide and opening the forum for questions now. Of course, if you missed the previous 2 QR codes, you can scan it right now and fill the form, and we'll see you soon. If not, of course, all the forms are the links to all the forms are on the WhatsApp groups. You can definitely fill them, and we'll see you when you join the Rotaract Club of Medicro. Now, the forum is officially open. The chat box is now open for anyone who wishes to ask any questions. If you want to unmute yourself, you can do so. We've now disabled the settings for the of course, again the same, and you can unmute. You can ask us your doubts, or you can put it on the chat box or the YouTube chat box as well.
Hello, sir. This is Shaurya.
Hi, Shaurya.
Sir, I wanted to ask this question: that what all am I going to get in terms of academics when I become a member of this club?
Right. Academics, I'd like to divide it into a couple of zones. Well, first of all, like I said, in first year MBBS, you'll have your 3 subjects. That is anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. As I mentioned earlier, you have a number of all these coaching platforms online and offline as well, which charge you roughly somewhere around 50 to 60,000 rupees per year for online or offline lectures, and we do that for just rupees 299. So we have a specially curated series of anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry webinars, and of course you can join them. You can solve all your queries and your doubts. You can of course ask any doubts that you have. You can clear out your concepts. You can have a better grasp on the subject, and that's first in terms of academics. Well, secondly, of course, academics can also be practical, right? So we do a lot of community service health camps. Now, I'd like to give you a brief insight. So basically, a lot of so there is something called clinical postings, which will be started in once you go to second year. Now, what happens in second year is you go to these clinical postings, you see real life patients, you interact with them, you examine them for everything that's happening. Now, what we do is we conduct a lot of health camps. Now, in these health camps, we actually we have a lot of first years coming in, and we actually teach the first years how to interact with the patients, how to examine. Okay, so we have, in fact, I have taught a lot of first years myself who came for all these health camps. So you get an exposure to that kind of medical intervention, or patient interaction, doctor patient interaction. You get to work on your doctor patient relationship once you come for these health camps. And we sit and we'll teach you everything, right from history taking to general examination to systemic examination, to calculating BMI and everything else, right? So that is the practical aspect of it. So basically you will be much ahead of all your counterparts, or all your peers in second year, because you would already be knowing what to ask in history taking, what to examine, how do you assess multiple things like pallor, icterus, cyanosis, clubbing. Of course, these may sound just like words to you, but it's in your hands whether you want to learn it directly in second year, or whether you want to join our health camps and other events, and we will teach it to you right away.
Thank you very much, sir.
Ojas, can you read some of the YouTube questions?
Okay. So the recent question I got is, sir, I have not retained my college. So should I go to college from 15th November?
Well, that seems more of your decision. But well, okay, Nai, if possible, could you join the Zoom meeting? Let's have a conversation about your college, because I'm not sure what state you're from. So it depends, from state to state and college to college.
I would like to add something in this. So basically, in most colleges, I've seen that even if in second round you get into another college, you have to submit your attendance sheet from your previous college. So even if you're going to some another college, you get some other college in the second round, you would still, your attendance will be affected if you don't attend it now. So personally, I would recommend that you attend your college from day one. But of course, it's up to you. Okay, I'll read another question. Okay, so is the membership open or for first year MBBS students, or students from other courses can also join Ayush, Homeo, Physiotherapy?
Yeah, so we do have, we have like a plethora of courses joining us. We have MBBS, we have BDS, that is dentistry. We have BPTF, that is physiotherapy. We have OTPT, that is audiovisual sciences. We have Ayush. We have Ayurveda. We have BAMS. We have BHMS, like homeopathy. So of course, everyone is welcome to join. And we have specially curated, events. We have specially curated health camps. We have specially curated visits. Like I think you mentioned something about BAMS, Ayush, and everything. So we have specially curated visits to a lot of, with a lot of course, eminent personalities to multiple parts of India, and we do take them just to give them an insight about the future of your particular course, your particular faculty.
Okay. So another question. Also, the last minute books to study the clinical questions from Harshi.
See, clinical questions are one thing which you will understand only if you know the theory. You can't directly jump to clinical questions. So I would suggest, if you want to do something last minute, don't focus on clinical questions, focus on the theory. That will help you pass probably. But I would highly recommend that you start with your theory, and once you're done with a particular chapter, you read the clinical questions from that chapter, so that you can better correlate the theory as well as the application of it.
Okay, so other questions are just general questions. How do I join Rotaract Medicro? So I think we have covered that already. You
So,
can just scan the QRs.
so the QR code is on your screen. The Google form links are on your WhatsApp groups. Feel free. We also have our email IDs, that is rcmedicrew@gmail.com and pr.rcmedicrew2022@gmail.com. If you have any queries regarding memberships, you can definitely write to us. In case you want to ask something, solve your research and innovation queries, you can always write to ri.rcmedicrew2022@gmail.com, or you can of course ask our research and innovation director, Dr. Simran Spal, who will be happy to answer all your questions.
Okay, so NB is asking, do you suggest getting PDF version of these books?
It is a personal preference. I've seen, while talking about my personal experience, I like to read physical books. It makes me feel more connected to the subject. But I've seen a lot of my colleagues prefer using PDFs, as it's always convenient. You can mark something on the book itself. You can make notes. So it depends on your preference. It depends on the devices that you'll be using. But yeah, I think this is something that you'll have to figure out, as you traverse your journey.
Okay, I think we have covered everything,
Hello,
especially
sir.
from you.
I had a question.
Hi, Jainam.
Hi. Are the events based in Mumbai? So, like, if we are from another city or if we join a college in another city, how
Right.
do we approach the events?
No, it's actually Mumbai. So I don't know if you were there for the first half of. We had a couple of
Yes.
testimonials from
Okay.
South India. We had one from Chennai. We had one from Bangalore, and we had another from Delhi. I mean, outside of Delhi, basically. So we do have. We are a pan India based club. We work remotely, and we have, like Rotaract Devang Chabra said, we have our team all across India who will be conducting events not just in Mumbai or Delhi or all these metropolitan cities. We'll be conducting events all over India. So, in fact, Janam, since we're talking about this, I would highly urge you to apply for the ZRR position. So you could actually experience, conducting events, being a part of events in your own region.
Okay, that helps a lot. Thank you.
So, Shivam, the webinars that you'll all take will be the content from your own books or will be from any author books? So, well, we don't have our own books. We are medical students just like you. I'm in MBBS. We all are in MBBS actually. Of course, we have other faculty members, other board of directors, other core members from other courses who will also be helping you. We don't have our own books. We use the books which are mainly recommended by all the departments, all the main faculties, the books that we've read in our first year. Uh, we have a couple of our own notes that we will be sharing with you. And of course, our faculties who will be conducting these webinar series will definitely be sharing, their own notes, their own, tips and tricks. And I think a couple of them had actually written books. So they will help you to cover something from the book, and they'll tell you if something will be easier. I hope that solves your doubt, Shivam. So, Kia, when do we have to buy dissection box for first year? I think you can buy it whenever the college tells you to. Sometimes the college provides it for you for a nominal cost. Sometimes you have to buy it from outside of college. So yeah, it really depends on how you want to do it. But I think you are in the same boat as everyone. I don't think anyone has bought their dissection box or dissection kits yet. So I think wait for college to start.
So we have another question on YouTube. I'm not from Mumbai. How can I join your clinical programs or camps?
Like I explained the same thing to Jenna. We do have events happening all over the country. We are not just based in Mumbai, or we are not, based in Delhi or any other metropolitan city. We work remotely. We are a pan-India organization with, of course, we have more than 3,000 members all over India. And of course, 3,000 members cannot be in just one city. We have 3,000 members all over India, pan-India, and we are a pan-India organization. We conduct events all over India. And like I suggested, even to Jainam, and I'll be suggesting the same to whoever is asking the question, do apply for the ZRR positions. be a part of the change that you want to see in your region. Help us reach your region, and let's make the medical fraternity prouder.
Okay, another question from YouTube. Is the membership open or medical students only, for medical students only, or other entities can join in as well? Example, medical career counselors, etc. From networking perspective, would like to connect professionally.
Well, so we are, like I said, we are an organization based entirely of medical students. So I'm really sorry to disappoint you, but only medical students can be members of our organization, and of course our events. We do conduct some other events wherein we would really appreciate contributions of any faculties, any person for that matter, not just career counselors or medical counselors. Anyone for that matter, anyone can join those events. So to Kea, how many hours per day do we have to study daily in MBBS FY? Well, it really depends on how studious you are. So I think we can definitely take these up once you join our webinar series, and we'll help you through the same once that's done.
I think that's it from YouTube. If you guys have any other questions, please put it in the chat box.
Or just 1 second, if I may add something.
Sure.
To the last point that Meg just said. I think what's more important than the amount of time you dedicate to studying is your consistency. If you are consistent in your studies, and even if you're studying only half an hour a day or 1 hour a day, but you're consistent with it, there are no lapses in your progress, then I think that is way more important than slogging 6 hours a day and then not studying the next day entirely, right? So I think, in my opinion, and I think everyone else present here would agree with me, Meg, Ojas, and the other members, consistency is far more important than the amount of time that you dedicate to your studies.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think we'll keep the forums open for another 5 minutes for you to have solve any questions or doubts that you have. You can always join our Zoom link. You can join. You can put it on the chat box on the YouTube live streaming, or you can always email us. The email IDs are on your screen, and we'll be happy to answer all your doubts.
One person has asked if this session will be uploaded on YouTube.
Yes, it will be uploaded on YouTube. Right after the seminar ends, it will be uploaded on YouTube. You can definitely go through everything once again.
Okay, one more question. I just wanted to ask when these camps would take place, as in we only have off on Sundays, right?
Well, so camps take place, all through the week. Well, I think you saw some pictures which were from a camp that was conducted today. It was conducted today. It was conducted in Mumbai. Well, over the last week, we had a couple of camps which were conducted in Hyderabad, if I'm not wrong, and Pune. That was just the last week. We have around 800 camps coming up for South India. So I think you can definitely join to be a part of that. Well, camps are conducted on mainly, so we try to schedule these camps. If they're a bigger camp, if we have political parties involved, if we have, imminent, people coming in, we try to schedule them on weekends, which makes it easier for us to plan and organize, and of course for you to volunteer and attend the same. But some camps are also conducted throughout the week, and of course it's not a compulsion for everyone to attend it, but whoever is interested, if you feel you have that passion, I highly recommend you join and learn something. Right.
Okay, question from Meher. What is the mode of payment to join RC Medical?
So the mode of payment is online. If you scan the QR code, the QR code on the left of your screen, which is the membership form, you can pay via GPay. You can do a bank transfer or NEFT. All the details are there in the membership form, which I think you'll be filling soon. And of course, I would highly urge you. Well, I'm actually seeing the responses for the ZRRs right now, and I can already see around 203 responses, which of course it exceeds our expectations right now. So I mean, I think more people will apply. It makes our job difficult to filter out these responses and select the best ones for your region. But I think we will strive to do our best. Right. And a question from Shaurya. Sir, do I also get a video lecture series along with the syllabus? Of course. So, once you join, we'll be adding you to our WhatsApp forums. On these forums, we'll be sharing, links and details about all the webinars, all the events, all the conferences, all the seminars that are happening in and across, your region, the entire country. If you wish to attend any international exchanges, online international exchanges, offline international exchanges, we do both. You can definitely try to be a part of this. Yeah, and as and when the video lectures are scheduled, you will be getting a message on the WhatsApp group. You can definitely tune in and join.
Okay, KPK asks, as an introvert, would this club help me build up?
Oh, definitely. I can't begin to tell you how much this would help you. Devang, you want to say it?
I mean, I'm pretty much an extrovert myself, but despite me being, very socially active prior to joining this organization, but after I've joined this organization, the kind of people that I've met and the kind of conversations that I've had, the kind of interactions that I've had, not just with acquaintances, with colleagues, but with random people from across the country. You get to learn so much. You get to know so much about what's going on in other parts of the country. It just helps you develop a different sort of a mindset, and it completely changes your perspective, because it urges you to get out of your bubble, and it urges you to explore more avenues, more interesting avenues, and the things you realize about yourself, the things you realize that you're interested in, you get to hone in your skills and everything. Like it's such a beautiful journey, and so I think that's been my experience with it.
Well, to add to that, I would say experience is what comes along with your journey. So let's say you are based in let's just say you're based in Kolkata. You are communicating with people who are throughout the nation. You speak to people. In fact, our very own Simran Spal is from North India. So I mean, just an example, we had a couple of testimonials that you saw from South India. And like I said, we have a lot of health camps coming up. So basically, it's all about the experience that you gain. It's all about the knowledge that you gain, what is happening in other parts of the country. How exactly does MBBS work there? In fact, Rotaract Devang and I had just a couple of weeks back, we had visited, Chennai ourselves. We saw the working of, our peers and our colleagues there. We had also arranged an entire launch for a program there. It was attended by over 500 people. All the people, we had also sponsored a lot of tickets for people to fly in and attend the conference. So you do get a lot of exposure that way. And I think it all comes as a part of the journey. So I think Sahil, how would we know if our college, if you're in Mumbai, is going to start in the future, because notification is given, it will start from 15 November. Well, I'm no career counselor, I'm no medical counselor, but I feel, from my prior experience, I think you can expect some delays.
Again, a question from KP. Should we get an iPad or a tablet? Is it necessary?
Actually, this is one of the most asked questions that I've seen. It's one of the frequently asked questions that I really have to answer every time someone asks. It's not necessary. Okay. See, an iPad helps you. Of course, I'll tell you the pros and cons. Now, I use an iPad myself, and it of course helps you, but it's not a it's not compulsory. It is not a necessity, right? So there are two ways that you can study. Of course, you can study via physical textbooks. You can study via PDFs. PDFs can be on your phone, your laptop, your iPad, anything, right? What see the current with the current developments, what an iPad or a tab helps you is to make digital notes, right? So you don't have to carry your bunch of notebooks everywhere. You can simply just take out your iPad and start writing. Well, I started using an iPad recently, but when I was in my first year, iPads didn't have that much of a craze. Of course, it's picked up in the recent years. So in the first year, I think all of us would agree that we did use notebooks to make physical notes, and we did of course we managed quite well back then, and we are managing right now. It all depends, of course, if you like to write, which I genuinely do. I would prefer using physical notes over iPads. Of course, iPads are an upcoming trend these days, but it is not a necessity, right? Do not feel pressured, or do not feel bothered that you need to use an iPad. It is not like that. It really depends on your preferences. It depends on your choice.
I would also like to add to that you may encounter some teachers or professors who may not be comfortable with you using electronic devices, and yeah, also carrying it every day, and especially if you make notes, it gives you a writing practice, because in exams you don't have to you have to get used to writing on a paper. So that's the advantage of making physical notes. But of course, iPad has the advantage that all your notes would be in one place and it's more convenient and organized.
So of course, there are the pros and the cons. I think you should weigh out both of them and see what works out for you.
I think there's another question in the chat box. It says, is it necessary to read all the books for each subject, or is one book enough? I think in my opinion, one book is more than enough. What I would suggest is, instead of reading several books at the same time, if you pick up one book and read it throughout the year, the amount of concepts and the amount of understanding that you're going to build on that subject is going to be phenomenal. What a lot of people end up doing is they pick up one book, they start reading it, and then they realize maybe this book is not for me. That is okay to do in the initial, let's say, 2 months, but take that time, take those 2 months, figure out which book works best for you, and then stick to that book until your universities. Because if until the end you keep rummaging through different resources, you're just going to be all over the place, because you're not going to be confident with the matter that's written even in a single book, and which is going to be like disastrous. So what I would suggest is take these initial few months. I would suggest at max 2 months, read different books, borrow. You don't have to buy these books. Maybe you can buy the gold standard book, and the rest of the books maybe you can borrow it from your library or download a PDF. Go through the content and see which book works for you, because different books might work for different people. The language and the lucidity of the book, it may differ for different people. So figure it out, and once you are sure that okay, this book is enough for me, stick to that book. That is, I think, the best advice I can give you.
We have another. Okay,
yeah. So I have one more question in my chat box. It says, what are the chances of me getting selected as a ZRR? Well, basically, it's nothing's concrete. But let me tell you, these ZRR positions are actually just for you guys, okay? Just for the new, the new batch that will be coming in, just for the, upcoming first year MBBS batch. It is specially curated just for you, okay? It is not open for any other student. It is not open for any other member. It is especially for you, to help you, get started in your leadership journey, to get you that exposure in taking up leadership roles. And I think which is why we created this entire post, and we'll help you to the best of our ability to do a job as well as you can.
Meg, I've gotten another question. It says, my son has applied for MBBS admissions overseas for September 2023. He has given NEET this July. Can he still be a member with Medicro?
Definitely,
right?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so you can definitely be a member. and we wish that we actually hope that your son does follow up with us, and it will also give us an exposure what is happening in the overseas college, his overseas college. It will help us to get him to actually see, of course, September 2023 is around 10 months away. He has around 10 months to utilize, and of course, as someone who's not even started his undergraduate journey, I think we could really we could really help. He could get started with the subjects with our webinar series. We could help him develop clinical skills or practical skills with health camps. We could also, of course, and there comes a fun aspect where we do go on a lot of treks, a lot of clubs and activities. So yeah, I think it is a very wholesome exposure, which I would highly recommend that you go ahead
Oh, one more question from YouTube. I think it's a personal question though. Do you prefer KJ Somaya or Terna?
Well, I would not be commenting about the faculties or the college, but let me just tell you something. It doesn't matter which college you go to. What matters is your passion to read the subjects. What matters is your passion to learn. If you have the passion to learn, you can learn anywhere. But if I had to say something, about my preference, if you stay closer to Navi Mumbai, please pick Terna. If you stay in Mumbai, do pick KJ. Because travel time does matter a lot.
Oh, I think that's it from YouTube.
I have a question. Will it help our study plans in MBBS to organize different subjects? I didn't get your question, Shivam. Would you like to unmute and let's just have a conversation about this? Okay. Until then, I have another question. Can I join your organization if I've not joined college yet? Definitely. So which is why we have this entire seminar for you to join our. So before you get into college, we get you well versed with all the subjects that happen. With if you take up our ZRR position, which I think a lot of you are taking up right now. So we'll get you well versed with your course, your subjects, your books, your exposure, your leadership skills. We'll be working on that. We'll be working on everything, which will really give you, that upper hand in college over all your colleagues and peers. Right. Okay. I think your mic isn't working. Would you like to rephrase your question, Shivam?
Before that, we have another question from YouTube. How to make friends in first year?
Okay. I think I can help you with that. Well, in first year, of course, see, you will have, trust me, you are in the same boat as are around 6 lakh, undergraduate aspirants right now. They are also in the same apprehension of what will happen when I go to college. But trust me, all it takes is that, first step, first conversation, and it does get you a long way. Of course, that is for your own college. If you, wish to expand your horizons, if you wish to speak to people in other states, in other cities, in other countries, for that matter, with our international exchanges, we will help you with that. Okay, I have another question. It says, will the early bird offer be extended? Well, the early bird offer is called early bird for a reason. It wouldn't be called early bird if it was a late bird. Well, early bird offer is 299 rupees for to become a part of our organization, which is valid for exactly I would say 13 hours and 15 minutes right now. Of course, see, 299 for that matter, I would say a lot of us do spend more than that on an Uber ride. Okay. And, if you take, we spend more than that, more than that on travel, on food, on leisure for that matter. But to look at it this way, that 299 is an investment into the future, which will help you, really grasp your MBBS life, get you through the years. Of course, build new contacts, new connections. It will help you in your networking, in your academics, in your research. And of course, if you're interested in, going abroad, we can help you with international exchanges. We can help you with, like I think Kunal mentioned, IDYs, which are inter-district youth exchanges. So something like that. So see it as an investment, but not as an expenditure. And I think you'll go a long way. And early bird offer is, like I said, it is valid until tomorrow noon, which is you can fill it tonight or tomorrow morning. It is up to you. But yeah, that's about it. Okay, I have another question. What will be the job of a ZRR? Well, I think Devang has already covered this, but let me go over it again. So ZRR is called a zonal regional representative. Zonal, which depicts the zone that you will be representing, the zones of India, that is North India, South India, East India, or West India. Regional depicts the region that you will be representing. Let's say you're from Chennai, so you'll be representing the Chennai region of Tamil Nadu of South India. Or let's say you're from Amritsar, so you'll be representing the Amritsar region of Punjab of North India. So that's zonal regional. And representative is, of course, you will be representing your region, I think it's your hometown or the place where you're studying. You'll be representing on it on not just a national but an international scale. You'll build a lot of connections. We'll tell you, we'll guide you exactly on how exactly would you traverse as a ZRR. Of course, the deadline, the applications are open. I think, and like I said earlier, I can see the responses right now, and it is they're increasing by the second. But I think more about that when we see your application, and I hope you get selected. And well, ZRRs are also a way to become a part of the board of directors. Well, currently I'm the president, but I was not always president. I started off as a member. I went on to become a director. From the director, I became a vice president, and today I'm the president of the Rotaract Club of Medicro. Well, it was a long journey, which it was approximately 3 to 4 years. And ZRRs are a way to prove that you are a notch above the rest and how you are better than others. It will help you, in, of course, not just your leadership roles, but in also, of course, in your CV building, and to work on yourself in, self-development, in building your personality as well. So I think if there are no further questions, we'd like to
have another, just I think the last question on direct. Please, can you tell me once again about exchange program from Rishik?
Right. So Ojas, can you go back to the exchange program slide?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, we conduct a plethora of projects. Now we have different names for all the projects that we do. You can see on the first, you have Project Kaleidoscope. You can see, we also have Bomb BCN, which is a virtual exchange between India and Spain. Kaleidoscope 6.0, which was the sixth ever exchange in that quarter. Of course, it was conducted with UK. I attended this personally. It was with the Leeds University in the UK. Interesting fact about this exchange, and I'll get to that later. But like you can see, we had a Project Amalgam with Brazil. We had Project Melange 3.0 with Panama. We had Project Melange with Honduras. We had Project Melange with Egypt. And after that, we conducted a lot of projects. We've conducted multinational exchanges, not just with one country, but with a couple of countries, which were Brazil and I think Zimbabwe for that matter. We conducted an exchange with Singapore. We conducted an exchange with, I think, Ireland. We are also, we do a lot of these exchanges. And I think we've covered more than 30 or easily 40 for that matter. So, how these exchanges work are some of them are offline, some of them are online. Of course, offline exchanges were postponed. It were delayed due to the COVID scenarios. But I think with things that are getting eased out, we can definitely see some progress. And I think we should be able to arrange for these offline exchanges. So that's how these exchanges work. Well, you speak. We have a panel of delegates from our country, which is of course from our organization, all medical students, of course. We have a panel of delegates from the opposite country, and you exchange ideas. So you exchange ideas, about not just about academics, about the healthcare system. There is also a cultural aspect to it. Also, you have quizzes. There are some things which are prepared by the other team for you. So there are some things that are prepared by you for the other team. So it works on a two-way basis. Coming to the interesting fact about Project Kaleidoscope 6.0. Well, this was conducted last year. Which was the exchange with which was India x United Kingdom Leeds University. I attended this exchange myself. It was a virtual exchange with the Leeds University, and this was when I was vice president. I had attended this. Well, interesting fact. So one of my seniors had actually completed his I think MD medicine, if I'm not wrong, and he was applying to the UK for a fellowship program. So I think I got to know this later, but I would love to share this with you. But basically what happened was, of course, yeah, like I said, it's a great addition to your CV. So he did mention it on, his CV that, I have attended an exchange in a virtual international exchange with your university. And they did recognize that actually. And they were really happy that they had an applicant. As you can see, we are, on the top right of that poster, you can see MSRC, which is an organization from the Leeds University itself. The Leeds University did recognize that, and they were really happy to have an applicant who was, actually it helps you because the university thinks that you are well versed with the healthcare system and how NHS hospitals work in the UK, right? I think that is the end goal. And he did get selected for the cardiology fellowship in the United Kingdom for a year. He came back recently, of course, after having completed his cardiology fellowship. But that's how international exchanges help you go a long way. They don't only help you in building upon yourself, but also in your CV. And of course, there are rare opportunities like these where you do get recognized after having attended these international exchanges. So I think that's about it for international exchanges, and we do have a lot more planned for all of you. And I hope I'll see you soon once you join our organization. Right. Or just can we go to the last slide? All right. I think that sums up our seminar for today. I hope we could solve all your queries, solve all your doubts. I hope we could provide you with a really brief, a really detailed roadmap to approaching MBBS and other healthcare courses. I hope we'll be seeing you soon. And looking at the responses, I think I will. I hope we'll be seeing you soon as members, as ZRRs, as directors, as core team members. I think all of you are extremely capable to take upon leadership roles, to take upon all these subjects. Don't be scared. We are always here to help you. Even if you think if you're not willing to take up the position as ZRR, we are definitely there to help you. You can contact us anytime. Right? We have our email IDs are on the screen. So all the best to you, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you so much, everyone. I think everyone can leave now. Thank you.
Thank you for joining, guys. All the best.
Thank you and good night.